issue with the plastic feet themselves, but rather they're just not in there tight enough to offset the issue with the bottom, where you've got these plastic PlayStation buttons that are pressed down because they're acting as feet for the console, but they're plastic, they're not rubberized. So you have this weird issue where even if the feet are in there kind of okay, if you're touching them from your console and plugging something in, there's some ever so slight give to it. At least on the Slim, sometimes if you push it like hard enough, the feet actually can skirt out of position or something. So it's not a major issue in the grand scheme of things, but that makes it a little bit better on the Pro. Really, the one recommendation I had for the Slim at the time was like, oh, you could just buy a little Gorilla Pad rubberized feet, tack one like right on the opposite end or something, or two on both sides, and that's gonna like keep the console firm and in place. So I imagine that'll still be a viable option here. But the covers, same thing. You've got clips on the top and on the bottom, not like the OG Fat model where you're pulling up from a corner, pushing in one direction. They're just clips. First time you do it, probably going to sound very loud, but you're just pulling straight upwards, and it is going to sound very loud. You've probably got, what is that, 4 on this side, 4 on the other side. And here's what we can also talk about right away, is this little bay right here for the CR2032 battery. Sony's at this bay to where you can now easily replace this. It's user replaceable. Really good stuff there. Now, the battery doesn't die often. I mean, we're talking a 10-year plus lifespan typically, and even when it does die, it's only there to track time on the console when it's turned off, and rest mode, things like that. But it is still there, like for PlayStation hardware, to track trophy timestamps as well. There was an issue a while ago for PS4 and PS5 where if that battery died, you also could not connect online. You would not be able to launch additional software. Now, Sony fixed that for the update on PS4 5. Still not PlayStation 3, which is a problem for that legacy console. The point is, very easy to replace because it used to always the CR2032 batteries like tucked away inside the console, kind of take it apart, get down the motherboard. It's right there, that's awesome. Top portion of this is where we have our So what I've tested, Pro does not do anything different here, but this is still an opportune time to explain how this works, because disk drives will not function without that one-time online registration. Out of the box, this PS5 Pro is on version 9.0. Connected online, the console required the latest firmware before allowing you to pair the drive. Once updated, once online, you can register the drive. It's a very quick one. Inside. Let me tell you, Philly is certainly in the house. Anytime the Eagles players took to the field, there were loud cheers, and anytime the Chiefs took the field, there were very loud boos. Philly fans are known for being very loud, lively. Some even have worse descriptions of them than that, and they are living up to their reputation. Now, tonight's game is all about, of course, who's on the field and who wins, but a lot of people, of course, talking about President Trump being here. Taylor Swift reportedly supposed to be here as well. Trump and Swift are not really fans of each other. Over the past few days, Swift has been seen at swinging restaurants around New Orleans here. The music superstar, she famously endorsed Kamala Harris, but Swift's boyfriend, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, says he thinks it's cool that the president is here.
as, quote, an elderly man with a poor memory. Trump echoed that sentiment, arguing that Biden simply can't be trusted with classified information. All right, so a couple of things to unpack here, guys. Joey, I actually want to start with you. Bit of a curveball here to mix a sports metaphor, but we watched that entire minute-long ad from the Secret Service.
Yeah.
You're someone who maybe saw an ad at some point in your life and were stirred to serve your country. That type of PR matters. Trying to capture the imagination, the excitement, the passion, the commitment of young people. We've seen that from the Secret Service. They've been through the ringer recently for all sorts of reasons. We were talking about it last hour. What do you think of the ad?
Yeah, I saw a Marine slaying a dragon, and I thought, I don't even think that's legal anymore. They got to be protected. Little I know, they were extinct. And then I found out that was a Marine officer, so I wouldn't have had that chance anyway. But I think it's great that I know what it's like to be the body, the guy in front of the more important person that hopefully takes the bullet, and that person doesn't, just in my time in the military. And I think it's a very powerful ad, and they didn't shy away from JFK, which was obviously, they didn't get the job done that day. And so it really showed the entire history of the Secret Service and where they've come from, and I think that was probably something that will inspire. We saw the numbers from DOD that have gone up in December and January under President Trump. You'd have to imagine other forms of law enforcement feel the same way. So, yeah, I think it's great that they put something out there that when I talked about earlier, you can be proud of your country and proud to serve.
Molly, when we were reading through what President Trump said about Joe Biden revoking security clearance, he just made it crystal clear, this is retaliation. We didn't do this in the past. You made the choice to do this to me, so guess what? I'm in charge now, so I'm doing it right back to you. Is that turnabout, fair play, etc.?
Well, I think from a practical point, it does make sense. Calling President Biden theoretically why former presidents would still have clearance so that they can stand today. Having called the president and CEO of the Canadian Steel Producers Association, and she was very Ottawa. Catherine, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Thank you, Tina. Catherine, I can tell you, I was when we found out about the news and got that video from Air Force One. What was your reaction?
Well, certainly very concerned. I'm trying to remain focused on a couple of facts. One is we do not yet know the details. We cannot, for example, know whether for sure Canada will be included. I would hope that
This is your team?
primary objective
Cool.
of the country
I like the
is to
vibe.
get us excluded from the tariff, and I think that we have a very compelling story to tell as Canada. We've done some incredible things to seek that. But if these tariffs proceed, it's likely they will be devastating, but challenging on both sides of the border, in fact, not just on Canada. So as the United States' largest trading partner on steel, we export, we represent about 20% of all of their steel imports, and they represent about 40% of ours. So we are very highly integrated, very dependent on each other economically, and tariffs will have devastating effects on both sides of the border. So job one needs to get Canada excluded from what looks to be President Trump at his word during the press conference, something quite broadly based on many countries.
Just wanted to clarify, just because you got a chance to watch the entire tape, there were some follow-up questions. People did ask him, are Canada and Mexico exempt from that, given the 30-day reprieve that the two countries had negotiated? He said they're not exempt, so for now, it seems like the exemption does not hold, but it's just that so much is still unclear.
Well, this is what I'm hoping will happen. I'm hoping the government is connecting with the Trump administration to once again remind them of the work we have done to align our trade policy, of the economic harm we'll have on both sides of the border, of the highly integrated nature of our business, and the $20 billion of steel trade that's basically exposed to this idea. So, again, as their largest trading partner in steel, I think we and as one that has worked extremely hard to align with U.S. trade policy, taken direct measures against China, for example, I think we have a better and supply chain transparency. No one else in any other trading relationship on steel has done this. but Canada and the United States. So I think we have a very strong narrative to advance tonight. If that doesn't happen, then we have a very strong necessity to respond hard and fast with retaliatory tariffs of our own.
What I wanted to ask you is, when you mentioned that figure, $20 billion, we know that 90% of Canada's steel exports do go to the U.S. These are huge figures, almost too big to wrap your head around. Tell us, what could this possibly do to the Canadian economy? And I want to ask you about the U.S. economy as well, but primarily to Canadian steel producers and also people who are employed in these industries.
It will be devastating. Now, I will say that we do ship, it's not quite 90% of our production, it's a little over 50%. But what we need to, the other thing we need to pivot to, and you're alluding to this, is we need to find mechanisms immediately to use more domestically produced steel in Canadian projects. Like, there's no reason why some of the largest infrastructure
but I just want my child to be safe. I think the hyper emotional attachment habits.
I wonder where humans come from.
It's time to operation.
Just how this turns out.
Looks like a C. And he's pretty obviously an E. Who else we got? Hello, Vic speaking.
This is Keaton from the second admin team.
Everything okay?
He just walked in.
Sweet son. I'm dreaming, yes, sir. And from the looks of it, he's here to get his hunter rate reassessed.
right this way, please.
Walked in.
Vic speaking.
This is Keaton from the second admin team.
Everything okay?
He just walked in.
Neat. You mean son? Unless I'm dreaming, yes, sir. And from the looks of it, he's here. Hello, Vic speaking.
This is Keaton from the second admin team.
Everything okay?
He just walked in.
Neat. You mean son? Unless I'm dreaming, yes, sir. And from the looks of it, he's here to get his hunter rate reassessed.
Right this way, please.
Thank you. If you're sure, then I'm on my way.
No need to be nervous about this. It's a simple test, and not like you can study for it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just trying to get my ex-wife and daughter to come back home, you know. Need to get this hunter stuff sorted out so I can earn some cash.
See those suits? If you get rank D or higher, the scouts will approach you and try to convince you to join their guild. So don't worry. As long as you aren't E, you'll make a decent living.
As long as you are E.
Next candidate.
Coming.
Could you confirm your name for me, please?
What's up?
Read assessment.
Yes.
Exact same process you went through the last time you came. Place your hand against the black crystal and wait.
motherfucker. Gangster rap, nigga. Nigga. She's 200%
Oh,
nigga.
Feastos are just the best snack. They're easy to carry with you and go with so many sauces. Actually, I'm gonna go buy some. Be right back.
Hold on. I'm sorry, could you try again?
The Special Security and Surveillance Patrol isn't involved in regular patrol duties around Fontaine. The people we're after aren't exactly the type who just pop up on the street.
Some outside Stop! Though I was present for the investigation, I didn't see it outside. So it goes.
Seems like the stories here.
There's some sort of ghost in the blood. Most likely an awakened ghost. Talk about it. I'll figure out. I think I'll go with you. That way I get all the details myself. Great plan, the suspect on it? That's just good. Oh, y'all witnessing history in the making here? Hard. I like to put press. Have a 9 on the side. Only 9 on the side. She finally got its 10 minutes. Yeah, sure thing. Your honor was right on the money. Got it ready before anyone else. Yeah!
Drop your weapons!
Oh, guys! Boy! The head of the hunter! Look, guys! It's Johnny Toy, the head of the Hunters Guild. Pinnacle of fire magic. Well, as most people know, the ultimate weapon. Basically the opposite of my own thinking. That certainly explains the excitement. Well, hello there. I'm Johnny Choi from the Hunters Guild, although perhaps you haven't been to make assumptions. Have you chosen the guild yet? If not, we can discuss our interest. Well, you cannot see the difference. I haven't been to make assumptions. Have you chosen the guild yet? If not, we could discuss our the excitement. Why, hello there. I'm Johnny Choi from the Hunters Guild, although perhaps you do. I hesitate to make assumptions. Have you chosen the guild yet? If not, we could discuss our interest.
Final warning!
Am I crazy? When I introduced myself, I said I was Johnny Choi from the Hunters Guild. Yes, that did happen. Yes, I came up there. You're becoming quite a celebrity. It's awfully silent, isn't it, too? Is he? What's your fetish?
Drop your weapons!
Tiger's HQ is relatively close by. Yet he ran hard enough to be short of breath. That's how badly he wanted to talk to that person. Ding, ding, ding. I think I found the outsider who cleared the red gate. Jolene. Of all the people to catch wind of this. It's actually quicker than that.
I'll take care of it.
I realized how blind he was this whole time, which is fairly ironic, even as
I'll protect us.
watching others punish the wrong. You say it's not the same way. The surveillance team is all the problem is when dealing with aspects. All I'm just saying there's someone.
Let the show begin.
Pleasure to meet you.
Go, Barbara, go!
First and foremost, I have to get you on the rest. They said to return, but it's all a formality. The instant you're on a measured off the charts, you became best.
Go, Barbara, go!
Okay, then why? Why do the formal reassessment? So, call it something replaceable. It allows us to contact individuals like yourself who heal its powers. Believe it or not, the association with the Canadians has this privilege. There's no way for us to compete with the fame and fortune of the Manager Wu is one of the most elite members we have. Even he's on the A-rank, which brings me to why I'm here tonight. I'd be thrilled to call you one of us under some. Naturally, you'll be given a position of respect and authority. Why go so far? Our nation's greatest advocates are not magicians, but hunters. For we guard against the threat of magic beasts. At our core are the prime dragons, the 5 largest guilds. Presently, there is a delicate balance between these 5 dragons. Should you join, the balance will tip, causing a substantial shift. That said, the association also plays a vital role as deterrent, the 6th dragon keeping the others in check. And you need muscle. You do have the strength for the job, I can tell you that. And perhaps even one day. Are you interested? It is a good offer. The job of the association, basically a guarantee for the leader. I doubt there's anyone who has greater influence than Chairman Gooo, especially with news outlets in the government. He's an amazing hunter, our country's first ever S-rank. His magic power is ridiculous. You'd never guess he's over 80. Not that physique. He may be retired from hunting, but I can feel he's still as strong as I am.
Sooner we're done,
All my efforts to level up. If I accept his offer, my whole life will change. Your thoughts, Hunter, sir? I'm sorry, sir. I have to decline. It comes down to money and because I want to fight. To fight? Fight against magic beasts, you mean? Yes. I'm certain dragons will. Remarkable. Fight against magic beasts, you mean? Yes. I'm certain dragons will. Remarkable. I can see in his eyes he's not lying. Many years has it been since I felt this way. And the rest of my heart still stirs such emotion in me. If I were 20 or even 10 years younger, I could fight alongside someone like him.
I suppose that's fate. That's the issue. My sister sometimes. Thank you. When I reach past the point in its very heated and counteract, so crisp by me before. But now, clear my schedule for tonight. Stay with this. Say to me, Charlie, would you care to join me for a week or two? I'll go, but not partake, if that's all right with you. Such yourself. The association mostly handles the dungeons, so I can help you out a lot. All secure commands on that. But Chief wanted almost stuff, because I know I can be stronger. Just a question I want you to answer. You've experienced this deal on son's power. Obligation more understood. Sure as hell seemed like a piece to me. Focus on your recovery and talk by the command center once you're discharged so you can pass the pipeline. What happened to it? Unsure. On the lookout. That said, that will be the blueprint of somebody like you in a hospital bed. Shit! You better stay the hell away from my family. Because if you try something, even death will be enough to stay there. But here are the laws. Even death won't save me. Sure. That is idea of a threat. I know where he's headed. I just need gear. An artifact that will let me crush that bastard. Artifacts. Some kind of relics.
Welcome to the Nadia line. This journey will be returning to the court of Fontaine. I am Elfan, your tour guide for this trip. But I hope you won't mind if my commentary fails to do justice to the majestic views before your eyes. Anyway, the destination of this tour is the capital city of this nation, the Court of Fontaine. Even the critic who once compared the city to a cage of stone and steel could not deny its aesthetic appeal. To the right of the aquabus, suspended in midair, is Fontaine's renowned research institute. I hear the employees there do crazy overtime regardless of rank or distinction. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with the incident.
Season cracks. The increase in partners, some options.
Excellent. We've reached the terminal station. Please prepare to disembark. I don't mean to hurry you, but there are just so many attractions in the Court of Fontaine worth visiting. I recommend that you begin sightseeing as soon as possible, so you encounter as many of these treasures as you can. As for me, I might use this opportunity for a rest. Maybe I'll go to our ways for a cup of coffee. Even tour guides need a pick-me-up now and then.
Look less suspicious if I'm right for it. So the license gets updated. This was taken 4 years ago. Looks quite different than our deal younger. And he falsified his rank. His record states that he's been severely injured on several occasions. So it's unlikely.
4 years of hell, but he didn't give up. The more I hear, the more amazed I am. He was paying for his mother's treatment and his younger sister's tuition, it seems. I suspect that's why he never withdrew from hunting.
You don't often see that kind of devotion from young people these days.
There's a recent note as well. He just signed up to join a raid with the Hunters Guild.
Then what he said was all talk. That big signing bonus was too enticing.
Not necessarily. According to the report, he's on the excavation team, sir.
He's mining?
Yes.
Certainly likes to keep you guessing, doesn't he?
You said you're E rank.
Yes.
You mined before?
Not exclusively.
Combat type. You'll meet the fitness requirement, no problem. Well, good. Got plenty of folks here just like you who joined up. Relax, work hard, and let's get that bag.
Right. Big raids in high-ranked dungeons demand specialized teams. The strike team deals with magic beasts. The mining team digs up the mana crystals. And the collection team recovers the carcasses. Damn, that's a lot of people. But for the profit, it's somewhere in there right now.
Such a travesty. They don't seem to appreciate the beauty of life.
Oh, feasters are just the best snack. They're easy to carry with you and go with so many sauces. Actually, I'm gonna go buy some. Be right back.
Let's take position, Ted.
Welcome to the court of Fontaine. Please watch your step.
This law could be coming to America. What do you guys think about this law? Personally, I agree with it.
Thanks. There's a storm coming.
A well-done carcass isn't much use, so I tried to cook them to a nice meal. I believe that took care of most of our immediate enemies. Let's continue on, shall we? Oh, and sorry for the burnings. No one interrupted, especially since the prince.
They found out everything with the dungeon boss already. It sounds he was strong the moment we met yesterday. For the entire squad to come up unscathed goes to show just how strong.
Right? The second in command comes out, that should be it.
Looks like 4.
That's right. Hey, John, your bad, sir.
Looks like 4.
She's even sharper than I thought. No, maybe that's what we do. There's no time limits as long as we're safe.
1, 2, and 3. It's looking.
Sense of Ted's magic coming. It's obviously an 8-rank dungeon boss. Feels stronger than the castle's Vulcan and Metis, that's for sure. It's tempting. I could go find out how tough an A-rank boss really is.
Did you hear? The guy who just joined on this job is an E-rank. E? You're kidding. What the hell was the boss thinking?
No matter where an E-rank goes, the welcome never gets any warmer. Not that I'll be doing this much longer. Look,
I'm working here, and it's tight enough as it is without idiots like you standing around and blocking the way.
Please, don't rush. We're making great time already. Go team. Jeez.
The
Wait a
musket
minute,
is
I
my
rake.
favorite weapon. It's both powerful and threatening.
Chief,
Sometimes the latter
I'm
is
having some doubts about the new recruit's rank.
Yeah?
Isn't he kind of strong for a year?
His IV says otherwise. The way I see it, Sung here is God's gift to blue collars like us.
Break time, you guys. Let's all go get something to eat.
Breaks also apply to you, Mr. Sung.
I'm just gonna finish up here first.
Don't overdo it. Don't go too far into the caves or you might wind up with the boss.
You got it.
Has enacted a new law. This law requires them to take people's lives who don't have more than 1 ounce of gold. This new law is called the Broke Fish Law.
The Special Security and Surveillance Patrol isn't involved in regular patrol duties around Fontaine. The people we're after aren't exactly the type who just pop up on the street.
Three? No, wait. Looks like 4. Three? No, wait. Looks like 4. Three? No, wait. Looks like 4.
Finally, they're gone. Can't let this chance slip by me. Got an hour till break's over, so let's take a peek. Here we are, the boss chamber. Yeah, that guy's definitely stronger than Metis. As much as I want to, I know I shouldn't kill it. The gate will close if I do, and the Hunter's Guild will suffer.
Three? No, wait. Looks like 4.
China will now be ended. This law could become too rare. China has enacted.
Three? No, wait. Looks like 4. Three? No, wait. Looks like 4. No, wait. Looks like 4.
this game for a long time and I just never done it.
Massive flaws.
3? No, wait. Looks like a 4.
What exactly do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. It shouldn't be that difficult to answer.
Oh! Boss chamber. Yeah, that guy's definitely stronger than Metis. As much as I want to, I know I shouldn't kill it. The gate will close if I do, and the Hunter's Guild will suffer a massive loss. But a little poke can't hurt.
What exactly do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. It shouldn't be that difficult to answer.
Whoa!
Us folks. Here we have white. Yeah, we are going back to the past. Shamrock.
Hey, Shamrock. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I'm good.
So, we're gonna make history, guys. We are going to play these calls real quick. It's a short video, but it's pretty interesting. All right.
Yes, I do. Go ahead. We have two of them actually. We have sodium oxidate and we have clavulanic acid. Why, yes, he did. Started him on playing these two. Very good, sir. Is there anything else we can do? Yeah.
This one's crazy.
She really thinks me and Frost did that.
Of course you got it. Thank you for calling Seton Hospital. This is Christina speaking, and I'm definitely a real woman. How can I help you?
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to find out if you guys have this really bad dude named Joey Steve.
Yes, let me take a look real quick in our database. Yeah, looks like we do have him here. May I ask you speaking?
Oh, yeah, this is Harley Burrito. No? HP? Attack?
Yeah, let me patch you through right away.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Clark Hansen. How are you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. Got Joey Steve over there. One of your own.
Oh, yeah, he's becoming quite a
Yeah, absolutely.
really getting sick of him.
Yeah, it's long. Well, check it out. I need you to really just get some fucked up medicine to fuck out this whole stuff that happened.
Well, that's definitely worth looking into. To be honest, I can't wait to get rid of him. This guy's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, true.
Telling me what to do as if he's the doctor.
Yeah, fuck that guy. You can't fuck the medicine. That acidic shit, fuck stuff.
Yeah, that might work.
Right.
That's actually brilliant. Not too often we get people calling us and telling us what we should do for the patient. I really appreciate that.
Good job. Good job. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's very good. That was absolutely amazing. I'm not sure who called them, and we do not recommend anyone calling them. But we did find this. Took hiring several private investigators to recover these phone calls, guys. And the private investigator said there's more on the way. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So taken back by this. But, I just thought I would share it with you guys. You know. Yes, calling. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we're calling. I mean, people are calling. People were calling that hospital.
Yeah,
It was
being
all true.
rough.
Yeah. Okay.
He really, it's ridiculous. He really thinks we called and did that.
I know, right?
No, it's stupid.
Yeah, because you could totally do that.
What does he say that's not ridiculous?
That's
You're right.
I was so glad you saved me, girl. You think that new one that guy dropped? Never heard that one.
Well, we
Looking, hold on.
Discord?
How to speak English? Yeah, Discord. Look in Discord. Dude,
Oh,
my brain, the weed that I've been smoking just fucking pumped my brain. I can't remember how to speak English.
That's a good thing, though. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it hits like that, you know it's good.
Yep. I don't care if anybody thinks I sound like an idiot.
Well, we got Rich Baritone smash hit Main Girl here for a little break. Let's hang out and take it a listen, guys. Shout out Rich Baritone, dog.
Hey, baby girl. Oh, baby girl.
Christina.
Because he's not a little girl. He doesn't want your kisses or your heart, but not existing shards of you. Baby girl, it's a plan, and I'm glad we're breaking it. You'll never be a partner for your soul, until you're
I love it.
Big girl, to the limit that you are. Yes, make you eat like it. Big girl, that's because your brain is hopelessly stupid. You fall in love with pictures and the text. It's funny that we're all glad. Big girl, you don't live as you are. Yes, in a real make you like it. Big girl, that's you. Because your brain is hopelessly stupid. You fall in love with pictures and the text. It's funny that we're all glad. Hey, baby.
Heck yeah, welcome in, bro.
Yo, dog. Give that ass some shit.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, yo, dog, give him that ass and shit. Fuck up his stomach.
Not a real girl.
Holy smokes, everyone. Boy, did we just have an absolute wild week in the markets this week. We had huge announcements happen this week that are going to have massive, massive consequences for the global economy. We had huge volatility in the markets. We have huge executive orders by Donald Trump. We have huge geopolitical news. What's happening with Putin? What's happening with China? We got lots of new data. What's really happening for the average American citizen? What's happening in the jobs market? What's happening with people's savings? What's happening with people's bank accounts? We have so much to cover. In this video, it's going to be a very, very action-packed of everything that happened in the markets this week and what's going to happen in the next week that we need to be prepared for. So you know what time it is, everyone. Let's get straight into the news, the facts, and the data. Wow. Look at this, everyone. Very bad ending to the week on Friday. So Dow closed 400 points lower as Friday's inflation and tariff fears spurred a big sell-off. Now, we're going to have new tariffs hit tomorrow in the US by China. So let's get into this big story. So look at this. We saw the tariffs done by Donald Trump with a 10% tariff on China. This is additional to what he did in his first term. And now China is starting to retaliate and the trade war is starting to escalate. So China retaliates with additional tariffs on up to 15% on select US imports starting Feb 10th, so tomorrow. Now China's finance minister said Tuesday it will impose additional 15% tariffs on coal and liquefied natural gas imports from the US. But it's not just that. China will also levy 15% higher duties on American crude oil, farm equipment, and certain cars and trucks, and as well as enacting export controls on certain products related to critical minerals. So make no mistake, everyone, we're about to see the biggest geopolitical event of our lifetime. We're seeing the end of globalization, and we're seeing the return to nationalism. And countries are starting to protect their natural resources very, very strongly. And this is what everyone's so worried about. Trump did this 10% tariff on China. They're now retaliating with 15%. What is Trump going to do next? And how long is this trade war going to go? And how bad will it get? Well, Putin is waiting on the situation, and Putin says Europe will stand at the feet of the master as Trump tariffs alarm allies. So it looks like Putin, who's obviously a lot more close with Trump than Biden, he's definitely tooting Trump's horn here, trying to get close with him to try to negotiate some better terms for him. So commenting on
The U.S. sovereign wealth fund is a great idea. Okay, let's talk about that. This is a big topic for today. The U.S. sovereign wealth fund. I searched for it on social, and I got this guy saying, me applying to work for the U.S. sovereign wealth fund. Breaking news for today.
Discharges your Secretary of the Treasury to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. I think in a short period of time, we'd have one of the biggest funds, and some of them are pretty large. I must tell you, some of the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side. Yeah, and eventually we'll catch it.
So what is a sovereign wealth fund? It's like a hedge fund, a collection of assets, a collection of stock, real estate, businesses, whatever, but it's owned by the government. The main countries, as you listed in that speech, that have sovereign wealth funds are generally smaller, resource-rich countries. So you'd say like Saudi Arabia and Norway are kind of the two big ones. They have the big sovereign wealth funds. How it works for them is they have excess profits from the sale of these resources, from oil or whatever, that exceeds government expenses, right? So they have a surplus. And rather than giving that surplus back to the people immediately or reducing taxes, to plan for the future, they save that surplus in a sovereign wealth fund. So it's not oil. They get a bunch of oil money. They have more oil money than they spend, so they save it, and they buy things. Norway buys, U.S. tech stocks, and they buy real estate, and they buy sports teams, and they buy a bunch of things. The idea is that they're putting their money in this thing so it can grow in value, and then it'll be beneficial to the country. The Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund makes $222 billion in annual profit. They've just invested in growing things. I don't know how much that is per Norwegian, but it's high. It's nearly $2 trillion now. They established it in '96. They put it into stocks and things. It's grown over a long time. And now it's worth $2 trillion. And it's worth like, I don't know, something like $1.1 billion per Norwegian. It can work. The problem with the U.S. sovereign wealth fund is that we are not a surplus nation in any respect. We are a deficit nation. We never, ever have a surplus. So the only way to get money into a sovereign wealth fund is to take it from somewhere else, either by borrowing it, which is essentially, as a nation, we'd be, gambling on stocks with a credit card. Like, essentially, we're either borrowing it or monetizing it from somewhere else. It's not how these other countries have done, is all I'm saying. We have some assets, but to put them into the market is just speculating with debt, essentially, since it doesn't add up to what we owe. So I'm a little confused on how we're going to fund the sovereign wealth fund. Well, here's the deal. So America can always find a way to get some money, but that's to come from somewhere else. But if we find a way to get money, then we'll give it to these guys to put into a big slush fund. And that fund, the goal of it is to grow, right? So they have to invest in things that should grow. So the idea is, instead of spending it on the many things that we already can't pay for, we're going to put it on stock. We're going to bet. I mean, it's a good idea for America because we love to gamble. So we're going to take this money, and even though we already have other shit we have to pay for, we're going to put it on something. We're going to try and gamble it on something that will grow. The concern is that this will be used to enrich connected people. So the U.S. sovereign wealth fund is going to have a lot of money. You have a lot of money. So they built it at least $200 billion. So it hasn't changed very much. Then whatever they choose to buy adds a lot of value. So let's say you're a company that's
As a dutiful maid
administration. The sovereign wealth fund might tip its cap by buying some of your stock, thereby choosing the value. That is the scary part of a sovereign wealth fund, sort of prohibition, taking money that we don't have, moving as a Chinese investment that can enrich ours, which I would say is the biggest concern. Actually, my biggest concern is how they fund it. That's much bigger problem. The bigger game is growing and strong. But the secondary concern is that it's just keeping taxpayer money funneled to certain unit projects, companies, friends, allies. It's close. Like, here's the thing. This is not a federal wealth fund, but I would love to. There's a lot of people in the crypto space that have been looking for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And basically what that is doing, that's taking taxpayer money and buying a bunch of Bitcoin with the hope that it will go up and then help America. It's very obvious when you think about one layer deeper. Why would they want this so much? Well, because you think the huge amount of money the American government has, and you start buying Bitcoin with it, it jacks up the Bitcoin price immediately. It's just like dumping your bags on the American public. If you're a Bitcoin owner, it's like to the moon for free. It seems like, hopefully, but this idea is not going to be the non-starter. Because it really is like the most transparently stupid and corrupt thing that I mean, this actually happened. I might join agents with you, dude. This is so far beyond the field. We just like taking taxpayer money to put things back. However, the sovereign wealth fund, the idea is that like without proper oversight, again, I'll explain to you what the oversight looks like. It become a slush fund using similar ways. To pump the bag, especially people that are friendly with the administration. I don't think so. To be honest, no. Never say never. Never say never. I don't know what kind of rules they could break. I think it would be more indirect. I don't think it'd be like, hey, the sovereign wealth fund is going to pay this political contributor or whatever. I think it's going to be like, hey, you're friendly with the administration, we're going to fund your real estate project. And the idea is that it's a win-win. It's going to grow, so we're doing our job as the wealth fund, but also we've chosen a winner. You get government money. It's a little bit of insider baseball. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Have Pelosi manage the fund, the deficit would be gone in a year. We print $1 trillion, hand to Pelosi, she just pumps. Tempest AI, we're back. No, I mean, the real problem with a sovereign wealth fund is once you get to the size of nation states, like Norway's encountered this problem. Most investors want to just piggyback on the natural movement of the market. They want to buy shares in it, but not influence anything. But once you're that big, once you're spending hundreds of billions of dollars, then whatever you buy moves. If you and I buy NVIDIA stock, it doesn't change the price. We're not big enough to move the market. You know what I'm saying? No retail trader is changing the price of a stock. Once you have a nation state investing into it, you can make massive movements. Warren Buffett has the same problem. Warren Buffett has enough cash where he can move money. So I guess those are my concerns. My number one concern is that, there's no other nation who is doing a sovereign wealth fund from a massive deficit position. We just don't have any extra money to throw into it. So it's just an odd spot to be in. And then the second thing is that once it exists, I wonder if it'll be used for corrupt things. Again, the military budget. So again, I want to make sure we're all on the same page. We're going to spend this much money. We're going to make this much money in taxes. So this is the difference. It's like if you cut the military budget, you make this go down. But we're not there. We're not even close. We spend way more than we make. And this difference, all this right here, we borrow. This is not the normal spot where you can start a sovereign wealth fund. And really, the only countries who have done a sovereign wealth fund well and consistently over time are small, if they have low government expenses, with huge resources. Like they have and in their case, if you're Saudi Arabia and you're worried that decades about money will rise up from oil, you can plan now. You can have that wealth saved, well invested.
Drop your weapons!
It's worth it. It's cool about more. This is their administration. They do how much money they make when they forward. What they could have done is they could have cut taxes. They chose not to do it. They kept everyone still paying taxes, and they just used all this extra money, and they saved it. Really do it once everything. Most of the American stocks has the big holdings of the Egyptian sovereign wealth. Look at how much money they just keep growing and growing and growing. And so it's a good time to look at black card stocks.
Time to clean up.
A lot of it's bad. Again, that's like everybody's all balanced. It's just as interesting. Civil War for America without a surplus. Borrowing money to invest in American excellence? Because I think that there's like normally you set policy over Tesla or Google or Amazon. But government, what if the American sovereign wealth fund owns them? Are they going to be more or less likely to regulate or break up these institutions? You know what I'm saying? I think it creates this weird. I would fight we'll see. It's just odd thing to now make sense. I'm a big fan of H-Rock because we're on straw manning and biased discussion. But granted, when you think that straw manning or biased. But I don't think I am. Yeah, they're giving it a so it's interesting to say the U.S. can borrow 4.5%, doesn't have to invest in equity, you can lend out at say 7%. What you're suggesting, okay, is that we borrow money to gamble. The high yield corporate bonds is gambling. The reason they're high yield is because they're a risk-free rate, and you can do that with a deficit. It's a long-term investment. Now you're borrowing, so we're paying interest. So if it does fail, we're now owing it. I mean, do you understand? That's why, under that logic, anyone who can borrow at 4.5% should be constantly borrowing at all times and throwing in any investment that claims they can go above 4.5%. That's ludicrous. Check out Bond Block's high yield ETF or